Well, Gerald Knaus is the director of the European Stability Initiative think tank and the architect of the 2016 EU-Turkey deal on migration. And he joins me now live from Berlin. Thanks very much for coming on to Euronews now. What do you make of the scenes that we've seen on the Turkish-Greek border? And is this response from Frontex going to be enough to help deal with it?
Well, very clearly what we are seeing is the end of the EU-Turkey agreement announced 3 days ago by Turkey, which of course had proposed this originally exactly 4 years ago in the first week of March 2016. And the result of not having a partner anymore on the other side of the Aegean is leading to a dramatic escalation, including extremely dangerous maneuvers by the Greek authorities, including an extremely explosive atmosphere becoming even worse on the Greek island, and irrational reactions from both sides, from both Athens and Turkey. What Turkey is trying to do is clearly illegitimate. It can't, it's immoral to send refugees in the winter to the border, promising them that they can cross when they can't. But at the same time, what we've seen from the border guards in Greece is not going to work. You can't, even if you have 10,000 Frontex officers on the Greek islands, you can't stop people arriving in dinghies from Turkey. And if you try, then you seriously risk the loss of life.
What should the European Union be doing to try to help?
Well, the most important thing is to remember that this agreement has actually worked for Turkey and the EU for 4 years in sharply reducing the number of deaths in the Aegean and the number of people who got onto boats. In 1 year before the agreement, 1 million people crossed. In the year after, it was 26,000. Now, the agreement worked because it worked for Turkey as well as the EU. And for Turkey, the most important thing is continued support by the EU for the 3.5 million refugees, the largest number in the world in any country. And here the EU has dropped the ball. This money was promised in 2016. It was programmed until the end of 2019 as promised, but there's been no indication from Brussels or from the member states that the European Union is willing to continue to support the refugees in Turkey, which is in the interest of Turkey, of Greece, and of the EU, and which has enabled 1.7 million Syrians in Turkey to get social support, 680,000 Syrian children to go to school, and last year 99.5% of Syrians remained in Turkey. So it's very important to get back to the table, to be rational, and to have the EU help Turkey integrate this huge number of refugees, and Turkey then not playing such dangerous games on the border.